Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Annelies and today we'll be doing something a little bit different, something I haven't done before. This is not a fragrance review video. Well, it's a little bit of a fragrance review video, but it's not a typical video. This is a tag video. This is a tag called What's Your Fragrance Personality? And the tag was created by Simply Aisha. So thank you, Aisha, for this fun idea. So the idea is that there are 13 questions that Simply Aisha made that we are supposed to answer, and that gives you a little bit of an idea of what our fragrance personality is. But first, if you haven't subscribed already, feel free to do so. I make other videos with fragrance reviews. I mostly make Zara fragrance review videos, but I also do other fragrance related topics such as this. And also because I make so many Zara fragrance videos, I will be doing a What's My Fragrance Personality video, Zara Fragrances edition. So this is just going to be my designer, well, mostly designer fragrances, and then in the other video I will only use Zara fragrances. So yeah, let's just dive right in. The first question is, what's my Boss Babe scent? And I know this isn't the most original answer, but immediately I thought of Libre by Yves Saint Laurent. This is a highly popular fragrance. I know that a lot of people love this fragrance, but I feel like the intense version actually gets more love from most people. The difference is this is a orange blossom, jasmine, and lavender scent, and the intense version is the same but with some amped up vanilla. I love both. I have to say I have a dupe for the intense version, that is Golden Decade by Zara. But I have the original as well, as I do think they are different enough to own both. And I absolutely love this fragrance. This is Boss Babe to me because I feel like it smells of a woman who is very confident. So if I were to wear this fragrance, I think it would give me the confidence I would need in order to, you know, be a CEO of a big business or something, or I would have to host a really big important meeting, or, you know, have business lunch talks or anything. I think this fragrance would really boost my confidence and make me feel like I'm, you know, powerful or something like that. I don't know. Confidence in a bottle for me. And a lot of people actually think this is a typical boss fragrance. I don't know where people exactly are getting that, but I do agree. But for me, it's mostly because I just feel more confident when wearing this. This has excellent performance, longevity, excellent, sillage, fantastic, definitely both above average. So to me, this is a 10 out of 10 fragrance. It is also a lifer for me. I think this is in my top 5 of all-time favorite fragrances. And I thought it was perfect as a Boss Babe type of scent. So that was Libre by Yves Saint Laurent. The next question is, what is your go-to bedtime scent? I don't actually own this fragrance as I don't really wear fragrances to bed. I love fragrances. I'm addicted to it. I wear them all the time. I wear them around the house. But whenever I go to sleep or go to bed, I don't really want to be smelling anything. I just don't like that feeling. I have tried wearing fragrances to bed when I discovered that was a thing in the fragrance community, but it's just not really for me. However, if I had to say one fragrance that I would consider wearing to bed, it is YT by Elizabeth Arden. I tried this one at the airport, and it's also a perfect scent to be wearing on an airplane, by the way. It's completely inoffensive, it stays close to the skin, and what I really loved about it, especially in that dry down, is the ambrette. I love the note of ambrette. I think ambrette is just probably the coziest fragrance note there is. It smells like your skin just smells really nice and clean, but warm and soft, and It's just the perfect fragrance note. I adore it. And I think in this fragrance, that one, especially in the dry down, really comes through. So I would be able to wear that one to bed. However, I don't feel the need to do it. But I do think it is recommended to wear to bed or after a shower, or when you're just in a situation where you don't want to be wearing nothing. But also fragrance is a little bit tricky to be wearing for that particular situation. White tea, Elizabeth Arden. It is a great cheapie, by the way. It's very inexpensive. It doesn't last super long, so you know, there's that. But I think it's a beautiful scent and perfect as a go-to bedtime fragrance. The next question is, what is your hug in a bottle? And this one wasn't very hard for me, as it is also one of my all-time favorites. I love this fragrance so much. I also featured it in my October fragrance tray video, and that is Pure Musk by Narciso Rodriguez. I love musks, but this musk is the best and the softest I've ever smelled, and I can't really imagine a more soft and comforting and cozy elegant musk scent than this. Absolute 10 out of 10 fragrance for me. So obviously this is musk, but this is musk with a little bit of floral notes, a little bit of cashmere. It smells like the softest sweater you have ever felt or worn, and you just sort of want to hug yourself. This fragrance is just perfect. I've always felt like this smells like a hug, but not just a hug. It smells like a hug from someone that you trust completely and that you don't ever want to let go of that person when you hug them. That's how this smells. I adore it. Like I said, one of my all-time favorites. I will always repurchase this, and if I were to hear that this got discontinued, I would get multiple backups, as you know, it's a favorite. So also great performance, really, even though it's a soft scent, it really projects and it really lasts. So that's great too. But yeah, my hug in a bottle is Pure Musk by Narciso Rodriguez. The next question is, what's your weapon of mass seduction? This wasn't hard for me either. The first one that I thought of that I feel is the most seductive fragrance that I own is Good Girl by Carolina Herrera. And I know a lot of people don't like this fragrance. It's the same with Libre. It's very popular, but it's also pretty hated. Maybe because some people feel like it was too popular at a certain time. I don't know, but I love this fragrance. To me, this is a perfect balance between white florals, which I love. If you watch my channel, you know how much I love my white florals. I know not everybody loves them, but I do. So you have your white florals, you have creaminess from the almond. I think there's also some vanilla in here. And then you have a little bit of citrus, but just a little bit, that balances everything out perfectly. To me, this is a fantastic fragrance, and I have noticed that men really love this fragrance on women. Not that I care. I'm taken. I don't need to seduce men or anything. But yeah, I have noticed that this is it's a man magnet. I'm just gonna say it. I know a lot of women don't think it's classy enough, but maybe we're a little bit influenced by the bottle. I don't know, but I think it's fantastic. I really, really love this fragrance. I don't care how much hate it gets. It gets compliments from everyone, but mostly from men, and that's why I thought it was a perfect fragrance for mass seduction. So that is Carolina Herrera, Good Girl. Also, great performer. I know I'm repeating myself, but this time that's a good thing because it's an amazing performer. Projection, longevity, amazing. The next question is, what is a fragrance that you never wear but you can't part with, or you can't let that fragrance go? And to me, that is Juliet Has a Gun Sunny Side Up. I really, really like this fragrance, yet I never wear it. I think I wore it twice since I've owned it, and I've owned it for about, I think, 9 months or so. It's a beautiful coconutty sandalwood with that isoe super. So I think it smells great. It has a creaminess, but it's not like overly sweet because it's coconut, but it smells like more of a realistic coconut and not a synthetic sweet coconut. I think it's fantastic. I really love this fragrance. And now again that I'm sniffing it, I don't know why I don't wear it more often than I do. Well, maybe I do know why. I think I just don't know when to wear this or for what occasion or in what season, because it's coconutty, but I don't really think it's a summery scent, even though it's coconutty. I think it's more of a cozy scent, maybe because of that sandalwood. I don't know. It's very soft, but also I think I'm repeating myself again, but I also think this has fantastic performance. I really get wafts. Both times that I wore this, I really got strong wafts the whole day, but I just don't reach for it and I don't really know why. So I wore this once on its own and I also layered it once with my Tom Ford Soleil Blanc. So that was nice, but yeah, fantastic fragrance. I'm gonna try and wear it a little bit more often because it's a shame that I have it and don't wear it. But yeah, that was Sunny Side Up by Juliette Has a Gun. The next question is, what is a fragrance that you would recommend to a beginner who wants to smell unique? So I liked this question because when you think of a beginner asking for recommendations and you ask them, okay, what do you like? They often have no idea what they like. They're just like, oh, something nice, something I can wear every day. So there are so many options, and then I would just go for a crowd-pleasing fragrance. However, this beginner says that they want to smell unique. So I have two suggestions that I don't own at this particular point in time. But my first suggestion would be CK Into You by Calvin Klein. I actually did own this fragrance and I decluttered it. I actually made a video where I talk about it. It's a declutter video. I think I just wanted to have like a first declutter since the beginning of my fragrance journey, and I think I just wasn't really blown away by it, so I got rid of it. But honestly, it's a really, really good fragrance. So one of the reasons why I would recommend that one to a beginner who wants to smell unique is because I don't really know a lot of people that wear this fragrance, and also it is extremely budget friendly. I had a 150 ml bottle that I paid, I think, about 18 or 19 euros, which is about 20 US dollars, which is about, I don't know, 30 Canadian dollars. I'm not sure, but very, very inexpensive, and it's actually good quality. It smells great and it lasts a pretty long time, especially for the price, but even without it, it has pretty good longevity if you ask me. Now, what does it smell like? It's a very easygoing, nice, unisex type of fragrance. It's fresh, but it's also soft at the same time. I think you can wear this every day of the year. I think it's a signature scent worthy. I think it's year-round appropriate. I think it's just the perfect all-round great fragrance, especially for a beginner. Now, if that beginner were to be able to spend a little bit more on a unique fragrance, then I would suggest Coffee Break by Maison Margiela. I think that's a beautiful lavender, milky fragrance. It does have a little bit of coffee, but it's not really a coffee heavy fragrance. I adore that one, and I don't have it because it's on my wish list and I haven't gotten it yet, but I really should. I'm thinking about it all the time, but yeah, my wish list is pretty big, so a girl's gotta make choices. But yeah, if they had more money to spend, then I would recommend that one. The next question is, what is one of your favorite fragrances that you don't wear enough? And for me, that is Jo Malone Myrrh and Tonka. This was a love at first sniff. I like Jo Malone fragrances. I do think a lot of them smell very nice. I just, I don't really think they are worth the price point, as they are colognes and not even eau de toilette or eau de parfum. This one is an intense one, so yes, this does last and project. It's not beast, but it's definitely a lot better than the regular Jo Malone fragrances. So I do think this one is worth the price point because the smell is, it is unreal. I think I love, love, love this one. And not only me, my husband actually loves this one as well, and he has worn this a few times. And I'm definitely gonna wear this winter. I really have to. But even though this is one of my favorites, because I do want to have this in my collection forever, I haven't really been wearing it a lot. It is very dark and unisex, and it's an ambery. This also has lavender, by the way. I'm realizing that I love lavender because we have Libre, Coffee Break, now this. So I do like lavender in fragrances. But yeah, I think it's very like woody, ambery, lavendery. So I think it's like a dark fragrance that really shines in cold weather. So with upcoming winter, I'm definitely gonna wear it a little bit more than I have the past winter. But yeah, this one, definitely a favorite, and it needs to be worn more. So that was Myrrh & Tonka by Jo Malone. What is a fragrance that you love but everybody seems to hate? This one and this one. But we already talked about these two, so I'm not gonna talk about them. I'm gonna choose another one. But yeah, these are the first one I think of. Like I said, they are both very popular and unpopular at the same time. A lot of people don't like the lavender in this one. A lot of people think this is trashy. I love both, but yeah. I do want to mention another fragrance because I already mentioned this one. And the one that I'm going to talk about, I don't feel is hated. So it's not really answering the question, but I really, really, really love this one. It is one of my all-time favorites. And I feel like nobody seems to love it as much as I do. And that is Armani Code by Armani. I feel like nobody loves this anymore, and that's such a shame. I think it was very popular in the late 2000s going on to the early 2010s maybe. And it's just, everybody seems to be over it, or people think it's basic smelling, you know, it's nice, but it's nothing mind-blowing. I've smelled this DNA a lot of times before. So I think it's just, you know, not popular anymore because it's not the most modern fragrance. However, to me, also a lifer, I love this fragrance so much, and I'm sniffing the bottle now, but the beauty is really in the dry down. When you sniff the bottle, you get mostly that citrus. You get some lemony citruses, bergamot is definitely in there. But then when you spray it, I've always thought it smelled like an Earl Grey tea. And that makes sense because it does have a lot of bergamot. It has some honey. It has some vanilla that only gets better in time. And then there's jasmine, orange blossom, those white flowers that I told you that I love so much. There's ginger, also a note that I'm really loving in fragrances. So this has pretty much everything that I love. And when I spray this on, like I said, I smell a delicious Earl Grey tea. But then that final dry down, the vanilla comes a little bit through, and it is just so beautiful. I love this fragrance, even though nobody seems to love it anymore. And as you can see, I don't know if you know this, but they did reformulate this one several years ago and the bottles have changed. I managed to get my hands on this original bottle and I checked the date on the bottle, and this one is 14 years old. And it smells amazing. It smells so good. I did one spray on my wrist when I first got it. And I smelled, I did it on my wrist, one spray. And then I got in my car and I was driving somewhere and it was starting to develop. It was starting to dry down. And I'm not kidding you. My entire car smelled divine from that one spray on my wrist. I was so happy the entire drive because yeah, I just really love the scent. And so for me, one of my favorites, and for the rest of the world, it doesn't seem to be that interesting anymore. But yeah, that's Armani Code from Armani. What is an overhyped fragrance that you own? It's Cloud. Cloud by Ariana Grande. I don't hate this. I think it has something nice. But yeah, I have to be honest, I got it because of the hype. It wasn't a blind buy. I had sniffed it once before and I actually did like it. I remember sniffing it and thinking, oh, it's nice. It's a little juvenile, but it's nice. It's a little bit too sweet for me, but definitely a nice fragrance. But then this was early on in my fragrance journey, let's say. I saw so many fragrance YouTubers talk about it, comparing it to other fragrances. Yeah, there was just so much hype around it. And it's so inexpensive. I bought my 30 ml bottle for 26 euros. So I was just like, you know what? I just need to have it in my collection as it seems to be sort of a must-have, I guess. But honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna keep it. I have worn it a few times. I do think, again, I'm repeating myself, but again, this has really great longevity and projection. I do smell myself when I wear this. My husband can smell me the times that I've worn this. And again, you know, it's a nice fragrance. I don't dislike this at all, but is it worth the hype? In my opinion, no. By the way, I don't know if I said the notes already, but if you know Baccarat Rouge, this is sort of similar, but it's like the child's version of Baccarat Rouge, if you ask me. So it's sweet. It has a little bit of that Baccarat Rouge 540 DNA in it, even though I would not say that this is a dupe for that fragrance, but you know, I get it. There's something about it. But this is a lot sweeter and a lot more juvenile, if you ask me. So yeah, yeah, is it overhyped? I think it is, but that was Cloud by Ariana Grande. The next question is, what is a fragrance that you have on your chopping block? So that you are thinking about decluttering or you're going to declutter. And that one is not very hard for me. This one could actually also be in the overhyped fragrance question. But yeah, I don't like it. And I'm talking about this one. You probably already recognize it. It is Latafa Khamra. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Is it Khamra? Is there someone who speaks Arab and can tell me if I'm pronouncing it right? This is a very popular fragrance, especially... Wow. Especially now that it's fall time and Halloween and pumpkin and cinnamon, everything. This is very suitable for this period of the year, this time of the year. It is dupe-ish for Angel's Share by Kilian. I don't think it's really close enough to be called a dupe, but it is definitely close enough to be, you know, to be called dupe-ish or reminiscent of. They clearly based their idea on Angel's Share, or maybe this one was here first. I don't know if that's the case, but one or the other was based on the other one. This one I feel is less boozy than Angel's Share. There's also something in here that I just don't like, and I call it dustiness. I don't know what note it is. Maybe I'm just gonna get the notes real quick. Okay, so it's probably the nutmeg, I think, that is not working for me, because it's like, it's dusty, but also a little bit, you know, irritating to the nostrils. But a lot of people really, really love this fragrance, so I guess it's just me. I don't love it. And here I am repeating myself once again, but this one is a fantastic performer. I sprayed this once I was sitting in my couch and I sprayed it one time, decided I didn't like it, but you know, it needed to macerate. So it's been 3 months old now. It has macerated. I still don't like it. But after that one spray in the air, just like this, I put it away. And for about a week after that, I could smell the fallen droplets of that one spray in the air that had landed on my couch. So I could smell it whenever I was watching TV on my couch. It was crazy. So yeah, performance, excellent. So it is bang for your buck. That I would say. But to me, I just don't like the scent. So this one is going, yeah, I don't need it in my collection, but that was Camra or Khamra by Latafa. What is the last fragrance you purchased? I purchased one that wasn't even on my wish list. So I have this wish list of about 25 fragrances, something like that. And then I end up buying a fragrance that isn't even on the list. But the fragrance that I bought last is I Want You Forever by Jimmy Choo. So I went sniffing and I always, you know, the tester strips, I always spray several fragrances on tester strips and I write down which fragrance that I put on it. And then I bring them home and then I wrap them in, you're gonna think I'm a dork. Then I wrap them in some aluminum foil. I don't know how to say that, aluminum foil. So I wrap them and then I just, you know, don't do anything with them. And then that same evening, I just blind sniff. So I take one. Usually I've already forgotten which ones that I've sprayed on the strips. I just take one at random, don't look at the name, and then I sniff it. And then I decide, okay, do I like it or not? And then only then I check which one it was. So I did that. I went sniffing. I had several tester strips and one of them was this one. And so I grabbed it, didn't know it was this one. I smelt it and I went, oh wow, this is really, really beautiful. I do think it's a little bit juvenile, but you know what? I was like, I'm not even gonna overthink it. I think it's nice. I think it's beautiful. Why would I not buy it? Just because I feel like it's a little bit more suitable for people in their early 20s or so. Who cares? I love it. It's a very sweet cherry, almond, vanilla type of fragrance. I'm actually gonna spray it. Yeah, it's very designery. It's very crowd pleasing. But you know what? I'm starting to realize that I love designery scent profiles more than niche scent profiles in general. There are some niche fragrances that I really like, but you know, I have a lot more designer fragrances, and that's not just because they're more inexpensive, but I just love a designer DNA. Not all of them, obviously, but this one, yeah, it's also nothing super groundbreaking, but it's just nice. I think this could be a compliment getter. Not that I'm buying fragrances for compliments, but you know, it's always nice to get a compliment. I do think this might get me some compliments, and it is one of the sweeter fragrances I own. I do like it. I don't think I have cherry fragrances in my collection yet, except for Cherry Smoothie by Zara. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to wearing this, and I'm super happy with my latest purchase, and also the bottle is so cute. So yeah, that's I Want You Forever by Jimmy Choo. What fragrance is on top of your wish list? Like I said, I have about 25 fragrances on my wish list at this moment, and honestly, it's probably a lot bigger. But the 25 that I put on or that are on there right now are fragrances that I'm really considering buying in the near future. So it's hard to choose just one, but if I had to choose just one, I think it would be Parisian Musk by Matière Première. It's a niche fragrance. I don't really own a lot of niche fragrances, and on my wish list there are a few, but I'm not really a super niche person. But Parisian Musk is a fragrance that blew me away. It's just the most gorgeous fig meets musk meets some sort of woodiness. I think it is beautiful. I really think it's a very unique fragrance. Although it's a little bit reminiscent of Philosopos by Diptyque. But Philosopos is really that fig, when Parisian Musk is also that musk. And I checked the notes and apparently it's ambrette. So again, like in white tea, I do really love that ambrette. It is gorgeous. It just gives it some sort of coziness again that is really appealing to me. I love it. And also I had a little tester strippy. And I think after about 2 months that I've actually sprayed the fragrance on the tester strip, whenever I pulled it out and sniffed it, I could still really smell it. So the performance is apparently really great. But for now, unfortunately, it's a little bit too expensive for me. But you know what? One day I'm gonna own me that Parisian musk. I think it's lovely and it is definitely on the top of my wish list. And then we've reached the final question, which is, what is your #1 fragrance for life? Obviously, this is a super hard question to answer, as us fragrance junkies could never choose just one fragrance. But if we had to, you know, I thought about several, and I did want a fragrance that was not gonna bore me after a while, and also that is suitable for all seasons of the year and all sorts of occasions. And I think the perfect fragrance for that is Mon Guerlain by Guerlain. This is the EDP. I also own the Intense and the Floral, and I've made a video where I compare all the flankers, so also the other ones, which I don't own anymore, but I've compared them all side by side. So if you want to watch that, I will link it up here and down below. But I chose the EDP, just the original EDP, as I think this is most year-round appropriate. I adore the Intense as well, but that one is a little bit more bold and is a little bit more wintry, if you ask me. This one, it's not super wintry, it's not super summery. Well, it's definitely not summery, but it's perfect for fall, spring, and winter. It's also appropriate for different types of occasions. So if you have sort of a social event, it is perfect because it's beautiful. You have a really strong scent bubble around you, even though the fragrance is super creamy and soft. And because it's so creamy and soft and warm, you can also just wear this around the house or to do whatever. It's just a beautiful year-round, perfect fragrance for so many occasions. And that is why I would choose this one. I don't think I would get bored with it either. Well, of course, after a while, you know, I need to rotate, okay? But, you know, if you can just have one, I think this would be perfect for me. If you haven't smelled this one, I highly suggest you do so, as this is a gorgeous... I mean, I know a lot of people really love this fragrance, and the hype is real. It is beautiful. It smells like a lavender, vanilla, warm. This is actually also a hug in a bottle. Yeah, love it. So I think I would choose this one. I also featured this in my October tray video. I will also link that video up here and down below if you want to watch that. But yeah, that is Mon Guerlain, the EDP version, just the original by Guerlain. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more videos, feel free to subscribe to my channel. And remember, I'm gonna make the same video, but only with Zara fragrances. So if you want to watch that, I will upload it pretty soon. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to give me a thumbs up. That would really help my channel. But thanks again for watching, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye!